Everybody knows LEGO weapons are normally pretty weak and aren't dangerous at all. But after doing some research online, I figured out most people don't know how dangerous LEGO can actually get. So in this video, I'll be building and testing 100 levels of LEGO weapons. Let's begin with this level 1 LEGO weapon. This is a LEGO crossbow. Now, everyone knows that these are practically useless, so let's upgrade this to a level 10 weapon. By getting a rubber band and some suspension pieces, we can build a functioning crossbow which uses Technic beams as ammo. But this crossbow can actually get a lot more dangerous. Something a lot of people might not know is that Technic beams and pencils are actually the same size. And by sharpening a pencil and using it as ammo, we can make this weapon super deadly. So to put it to the test, I placed down a row of balloons to see how many balloons this crossbow can pop through. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yo, nice. Okay, for this level 20 LEGO weapon, I want to upgrade a spring shooter. Now, everyone knows that you can stack up a bunch of these to make them fire really fast. But what if I told you there was a way to make this super strong? I found this build online that shows how to make a rapid fire spring launcher. Basically, all you have to do is put a bunch of these spring launchers on tracks and make a slope that hits the ammo to fire it. But I'm not gonna lie, this is way too slow. So to upgrade this weapon even more, we have a simple fix by getting a LEGO motor and simply just connecting it to the body. And already this makes the gun shoot 20 times faster. But now let's test this weapon against a crowd of minifigures. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was way stronger than I thought it was gonna be. But now we're ready for our level 30 LEGO weapon. I made this LEGO card shooter, and basically how this works is there's 2 motors connected to a giant LEGO wheel. And these motors basically speed up this wheel insanely fast. And when you put a card behind the wheel, it'll basically shoot at the card, turning it into a deadly projectile. But to make this weapon even better, I realized I didn't want to have to manually load every card in. So I attached another motor and trigger, which activates some wheels that move each card into the wheel, basically making it into an automatic weapon. Okay, now I want to put this weapon to the test. So I built this giant cup stack, and I want to see if this card gun can knock it over. All right, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, apparently another thing you can do with playing cards is if you throw them super hard, they'll stick into an apple. So for this next test, I want to see if my gun is powerful enough to do that. If this actually works, it's going to be insane. 3, 2, 1. Okay, for only being a level 30 gun, that was kind of insane. But for this level 40 LEGO weapon, I want to test how good a sword is. Obviously, normally LEGO swords can't cut anything because they're way too flimsy. So I built this life-size LEGO Minecraft sword out of a bunch of tile pieces. And to test how strong my Minecraft sword is, I bought some fruits ranging from easy to cut to hard, with the easiest fruit being a banana. Let's test this out. Okay, so my sword completely broke. But to fix it, I rebuilt the sword but glued everything together this time. Let's test this against the apple. Nice. Okay, for this next test, I want to see if it can cut through a watermelon without breaking. Wow, that's crazy. The sword was so strong it cut the watermelon in one hit. Okay, for this level 50 LEGO weapon, I want to take it up a notch. Okay, so everyone knows these basic LEGO stud shooters. These can pretty much fire anything with a stud connection. But if I'm being honest, these are pretty weak, and other LEGO stud shooters are also pretty trash. So while I was scrolling online, I found an eBay listing for an 1,000 times skilled stud shooter, and I instantly bought it. And right off the bat, this thing is sick, and it looks exactly like the real LEGO piece. But I want to see if this stud shooter is actually any good. So for my first test, let's see what happens if we use this on a crowd of minifigures. All right. Yo, bro, it actually looks so weird seeing a giant stud next to minifigures. But now I want to put this giant stud launcher up to a real test. Let's see how a giant stud launcher performs against a giant minifigure. 3, 2, 1. Okay, these next LEGO weapons are gonna get super deadly, so don't build any of these at home. For our level 60 LEGO weapon, I decided to build a LEGO siege weapon. And what's special about this is it actually uses these slingshot rubber bands I bought off of Amazon to charge up this giant hammer and make it hit really hard. So let's put this weapon through the test and see if it can actually break these ornaments I bought. Nice. Now let's test it against this huge duck ornament and see if it can break it. Okay, that literally sent the duck flying and smashed it into a bunch of pieces when it hit the ground. Nice. Okay, so I've seen other YouTubers try to make Lego flamethrowers before, and for whatever reason, they haven't been able to actually burn anything at all. So for this level 70 weapon, I want to prove that Lego flamethrowers can work. So I recreated almost the exact same flamethrower from this video. And how this works is inside this Lego case, there's a can of hairspray that can get activated by these Technic pieces being pushed. And if you didn't already know, hairspray is super flammable. So by lighting a candle and spraying it with hairspray, we can make these giant clouds of fire with it. But now I want to know how strong this flamethrower actually is. So I made this minifigure with armor on to see if armor can protect the minifigure from the flamethrower. Okay, I genuinely have no idea if this is gonna work. 3, 2, 1. And at first, only these small bursts of fire were coming out, and it wasn't really doing anything to the minifigure, like, at all. So I kept relighting the candle, and every time I'd spray the hairspray, the candle would get put out. But as I relit the candle and tried it some more times, it actually set the base plate on fire. Yo, Loki caught the base plate on fire. So I kept going, and right after that, the minifigure caught on fire and started to burn. Yo, it's actually burning. Yo, I can't believe that actually worked. And as expected, once it caught on fire, the entire minifigure got destroyed. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, don't build this at home. But before we move on to the next Lego weapons I spent way too much money on, if you want to subscribe to be an OG subscriber to the channel, it would mean the world. I mean, we're literally at 4,000 subs right now, so hopefully we can get to 100,000. But anyways, moving on, I want to see if fake Lego guns are as good as real Lego guns. So I went on Amazon and ordered 3 fake Lego guns for about $300. The first Lego gun I got is this fake Lego AK. It pretty much looks like the real thing, and basically how it works is you put a bunch of rubber bands around this gear and charge it up by rotating this handle. Alright, I think the AK is fully loaded. Let's test this out. So for my first test, I want to see if this AK is accurate. So I built this target that moves when it gets hit, and honestly, if it can make the target move, I'd say this weapon is pretty good. Alright, all we should have to do is pull the trigger. Yo! Okay, that was pretty cool, but this next fake Lego gun is this pistol, and it actually looks super realistic. But the problem with this gun is it literally doesn't even work. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this sucks, bro. But luckily, for $200, you can buy a literal Lego minigun. And I'm not even gonna lie, this is one of the coolest builds I've ever owned. But what sucks about this is it literally doesn't even work. But don't worry, because now I want to see which Lego weapon is actually the strongest. To test this, I built this Lego house, and we're gonna secure it with these big walls. And whichever weapon does the most damage to it is the winner. Alright, let's see if this level 10 weapon does anything. Yo, that actually broke a hole in it. What? Alright, let's see level 20. Bro, that did actually nothing. Level 30. Alright, let's see if level 40 is any better. Alright, that actually broke part of the house. Okay, level 50. Alright, let's test out level 60. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Alright, let's see if this flamethrower is any good. Oh no, we gotta put this out, bro. Okay, the house is pretty much completely destroyed, but maybe this gun that shoots rubber bands will destroy it even more. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. Okay, comment your favorite Lego weapon in this video, or if you have any future video ideas. And if you want to help me out by subscribing, claim your OG ticket before 100k subs. Thanks for watching.